Hey collectors, welcome to Star Wars Collected. I'm Jonathan. Today we have a Hot Toys unboxing and review. It's a figure I'm really excited about. On the outside here it says SWR1SSL. I know what's inside of this. You saw the thumbnail, you know what's inside of this. I don't think reading that we'd have any idea, but it is the Shoretrooper figure as seen in The Mandalorian. Of course, this one's going to be from The Mandalorian, but you will of course remember it from Rogue One, which is where I fell in love with the design. I actually remember I think it was Donnie Yen, he leaked some sort of cast gift that had these little mini helmets on it, and I believe it was a Shoretrooper helmet, a Death Trooper helmet, and I think a Stormtrooper helmet was the third one. And they were like these little mini helmets, and I think he was just like thanking someone or showing off the design a little bit, and it was this big leak back when Rogue One was being made. So as soon as I saw it there, I loved it. I think the internet in general loved all those helmet designs from Rogue One. So it was a really cool figure, and I have a Gentle Giant version of the statue that we'll take a look at the end here. But the Rogue One Hot Toys, they kind of escaped me. I just wasn't really into this scale at the time, and lots of cool ones came out during that time that are now so hard to get a hold of. Jyn Erso, Chirrut Inway, K2SO, all these are really hard to get a hold of, including the Troopers. So when I saw in episode 15, The Believer of season 2 of The Mandalorian, that there was a Shoretrooper in there, I got really excited because I had used the opportunity of them showing up in the last 2 episodes of the first season, of the Death Trooper showing up in the last 2 episodes of the first season to pick up the Death Trooper. And there were ones that I really wanted. So when I saw them in the show, I knew that they were going to be offered again by Hot Toys. So obviously this is the very rare upside down Shoretrooper, anti-gravity boots, pretty advanced. Let's go ahead and flip this over real quick. So on the back here we have Shoretrooper Squad Leader guys. Now when I bought this one, you could also buy what I think was sort of just the normal grunt without any of the extra paint on there. This one's going to have a little bit of light blue, a little bit of red, and I just love those extra details. So the other one's very cool too. I think they were the same price. You could choose which one you wanted, but I want the one with a little bit more detail on it. So pretty standard here so far. We have a box that's pretty reminiscent of what we've been opening recently, although I think I remember them using photography on a lot of the more recent ones, and this one is using sketches. So that is a little different. So if we take a look at the box here, this down here, in the past I think this has been photography on the side. So they have a little sketch here of the Shoretrooper. Again, it's sort of that gray on black box, a little portrait of the Shoretrooper there. And the back of it has sort of the standard stuff, Hot Toys, Shoretrooper Squad Leader, 1/6 scale, all those little things there. So let's take its top off. All right, popping out here. Okay, so box down here. We are greeted by our first piece of art here, a very cool action shot. The photographers that they have at Hot Toys do a great job. The ones at Sideshow too as well, but they just do a great job of giving some motion to these things and making them feel oh so real, which is what we're looking for when we pick these guys up. He's got a lot of little nicks and battle damage on him and stuff like that. So let me flip him the camera here real quick. I'll lift him up so you guys can see him. It looks like we have some extra hands here on both sides, and his rifle here. These are probably going to be extra pegs in general, and then I see a base down there below. So a little bit similar to our last unboxing that we did, where there are not that many accessories, although Captain Rex had more than I would say the Shoretrooper does. But in general, I would say I'm kind of okay with that. As long as it comes with the things that I think as being iconic to that figure, I'm okay with it. I don't love this trend of Hot Toys of making these figures $300 a piece. In general, honestly, I'd rather have sort of the, $200 type figure or less. That'd be great, cool too, Hot Toys. We would take less expensive figures. I don't need 15 hands, which would be an odd number, but I don't need 15 hands, and I don't need, a spoon that they ate with. Like this guy is from, the episode where there's a mess hall. Like I don't need his tray and his bowl and his plate and his, his spoon and his fork and his spork and all these different things. Give me, and other people will disagree. I don't tend to come back to these guys and refresh how they look. I don't come back and repose them very often, anything like that. So let's see here. We've got our kind of standard plastic little baggies on things, so we'll remove those. Okay. Pulled his foot off, so that's cool. Okay, didn't pull that one off. Okay, so we'll put that back on. All good. All right, so it's kind of funny. Out of context, his boots just look like Chuka boots that are Chukka boots that you would that I have upstairs. You know, so kind of interesting. Almost look like they have like a Timberland logo on them. You know, always a cool figure. Really like this guy. You know, has some standard Stormtrooper pieces throughout, but then of course has its own piece. You know, it's missing, you know, some of the, like the cod piece and the thigh pieces that you would have on a Stormtrooper. The helmet looks fantastic. They've done a great job with the weathering. I have some experience with the Shoretrooper. I've built a Shoretrooper helmet, so I have some experience with that, and I'll show you guys that here at the end. But overall, he looks like what I think a Shoretrooper should look like. So we have a couple different hands. The hands that he has in there right now are just sort of open type hands. We'll probably put one in there, maybe his right one that's more of a pistol grip type thing. He comes with a pistol grip type hand as well as a fist. So if you wanted to make him, you know, punching some guy in the face or whatnot, you could do that. And it looks like you have those for both the left and the right. So we'll probably swap the one hand and let him hold his rifle or something like that. Here is his rifle that he comes with. Looks like it's got at least 2 tones of grayish, you know, gunmetal on here. Little strap in there to add some authenticity. And then we'll come down here to the base. Now, I gotta say, I don't love this base. This base has got a little portrait of the handsome trooper on it. I have liked more recently the trend that they've been sort of going environmental with their bases. Oh, you know what? Forget me. This seems to be sliding off. Okay, so never mind. So this is odd. I haven't seen this before, guys. Maybe you've seen it. This is like a little piece of cardboard that is attached to this plastic. I don't know. I'm almost afraid to peel that off, although it seems to be sliding somewhat independently from it. It looks like it's meant to pop over that, maybe if you want to, but then you just sort of have this sort of like thin postcard. Is it a sticker? Oh, it appears to be a sticker. Okay. In case you are unlike me and you don't like these sort of environmental type bases that, you know, kind of are a little more in-world, and you want something a little different, you have this option, which has the, you know, the crest on it, the Shoretrooper. You have some Arabesh here at the bottom. You know, we're big fans of Arabesh here on the channel. So there's that going on. There's some sort of additional piece here, which looks like it might go underneath this part. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to look at some pictures and figure that one out, because, you know, it's there. It's kind of, you know, perfectly sized, so I imagine it does go there. So here we go. We're just going to put this in the base here. Interesting. This almost seems to be too large. I don't want to break my new toy, but oh. All right, it's in. This all appears to be done with at this point. I'm not going to be using that card. I will be swapping out this hand, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop this hand off the wrist. Okay. So we will take a look here just real quick at some of the detail we have going on. We've got the detonator piece on the back here, kind of like a Stormtrooper has, although it is a little bit modified. Maybe it's not a detonator on the Shoretrooper. Some cool detail on his backpack here. I love these straps, how tactical they are. Really big buckles on there. Done a good job at mixing. You know, it's got some fabric pieces here, some cut and sew down here. The utility belt is different. This might be actually the first time really looking at that belt up close. It really does differ quite a bit from what a Stormtrooper has. This abdomen plate is quite a bit different too. So it's a cool figure. I think, you know, Rogue One, I think, holds a special place for the fandom. Even if you haven't loved the Disney era of movies, I think a lot of people have liked Rogue One. And I think the Shoretrooper design is one that has really stood out to people that they really like, that along with the Death Troopers. So, like I said, I got very excited when I saw them in Chapter 15, The Believer, because I knew that there was a good chance that Hot Toys would capitalize on them returning, and I'd have an opportunity to buy this figure in this scale, which has been a bit of a grail piece for me. It's something I've definitely been interested in, but just not willing to pay those secondary market prices on the ones that actually came out from Rogue One. So we'll take a little break here. I'm gonna pose them and we'll come back and we'll see what I have. All right, so we kind of went for like a little action pose here, almost as if he was kind of dramatically turning around or something like that. Not sure if this will be his final form or not, but it's something I haven't really done in my collection. So I am going to go ahead and real quick, and I'm going to grab some of my other Shoretrooper items I have in my collection, get them all together, and we'll take a look at them. So here's the extent of my Shoretrooper collection. Of course, we just added the Hot Toys piece here. We have this piece from Gentle Giant, and we have a helmet that I made from a mold. So let's start with this piece from Gentle Giant. You know, sometimes I do a little comparison between these two things. Some people say that it's totally not fair to do it, but there are things here that I think are unique. These are two different versions, so you can see that the blue on his chest doesn't go down nearly as far, as well as he has a cap of blue on his shoulder. There's no cap of that color over here. There's also some differences on the arms and things like that. So slight differences, so maybe not completely fair to compare them 100%, but the Gentle Giant one actually has much better boots, so they are much more muddied. Let me see if I can get him out of here and see if I can get that in focus or not. But his boots are much more muddied, which kind of adds to his realism. He also has a leather pouch back here and some other pieces on the back, which I'm not seeing in the Hot Toys one. Now maybe that's because he is a different rank of some sort, but it's not often that the Gentle Giant one has a little more detail than what the Hot Toys version does. Otherwise, you know, quite honestly, they are pretty similar. I think this is one of Gentle Giant's better pieces. I like its base on it quite a bit. It has that shore feel, even the way that the foot goes into the shore here, and there's a little bit of gloss paint on that end. It really does sort of give that sort of wet sand, beachy kind of look to it. So I think that's a cool piece. Now this is missing. Again, could be because of the rank. It does not have this sort of black piece here at the bottom. But overall, honestly, this is a great piece as well. I like that this one is taller. That's the only thing that I don't love about Gentle Giant stuff, is I wish it was all the larger scale, which they make sometimes and don't make other times, and sometimes they make busts, which I don't really like. But overall, you know, this is sort of my consolation prize of not being able to buy this one when it was the Rogue One version. So I'd be happy to have both of them here on my shelf. And they're actually kind of funny enough. This one sits next to the Gentle Giant Death Trooper statue that I picked up at Star Wars Celebration. And this guy is probably going to sit next to the Hot Toys version of the Death Trooper as well. So Shoretroopers and Death Troopers are best friends for life. What can I say? And then coming back here, this is the helmet that I made. This is actually one of my older helmets that I've made. It was made out of a plastic mold that I think I got off of eBay. I got it for a song. It is not the thickest mold in the world, but it's not bad. There was a lot of sort of hand finishing and hand painting on this. I'm looking, you know, color-wise, they've gone a little bit more yellow in the paint on both of these than I have on this guy here, but, you know, doesn't bother me one bit. Sticker, I think, came from Etsy. So I have very fond memories of doing this one and experimenting with some metallics here and there, and some black and some scorching and things like that. And I feel like this is one of the first helmets that I did that I felt like the weathering on it was pretty on point. So this one definitely holds a special place in my heart. And like I was saying earlier, getting a glimpse at this helmet was one of the first things, when this sort of leaked out, one of the first things that really got me hyped for Rogue One. So it's definitely one of my favorite pieces in my collection. All right, collectors, there you have it. This was my unboxing of the Shoretrooper. Now, I didn't quite give it a review. I would say overall, I'm pleased to have it in my collection. I was very, very pleased with it until I saw the muddy boots on my Gentle Giant one, and wish that they had done that on those as well, because those are some mighty fine, clean boots. He could wear those out on a nice date or something like that, and the lady would really like that, or the guy, you know, they would really be into his very clean shoes. But overall, I think it's such a strong looking trooper. and I love the color palette that he has. And I'm just happy to have him here in my collection finally. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. If you enjoy videos like this, please subscribe. Also make sure you're following us on Instagram. We do exclusive unboxings, and there's polls, and there's questions, and hot collector news coming out there all the time. And hop down in the comments below and let me know what your favorite Trooper variant is, and tell me why it's the Shoretrooper, because it might just be mine. So see ya.